can't get it.
But you see how much kidnappers are picking for victims.
My thing is, government should I think all the stakeholders in this get that, and I think we get that. The 3% for the oil producing community is too low.
So the support that is needed, and once you get the support, your airline people will blossom.
This is Nigeria. You need to give people sense of belonging.
TGIF, good morning and welcome to Inside Nigeria, coming to you live from Leadership Podcast Studio. My name is Tion Joseph, and as usual, this morning I'll be reading to you different headlines from 5 different Nigerian newspapers. And as it is my culture, I'll be starting with the most influential newspaper, which is the Leadership newspaper. So let's cut straight to the chase. So on Leadership this morning, the major story says London meetings, Europe new political playground as governors weigh fresh options. I'll take that one more time. London meetings, Europe new political playground as governors weigh fresh options. Now let's look at some of the bullets right there. It says Wike, Otom, Makinde, Ipezu, Fintiri, Pali, Obasanjo, Obi, Atiku, others in UK. The second bullet there says XVP cautions PDP BOT members over unguarded utterances. The last bullet there says Jonathan Sambu stress unity issues-based campaign. And you can find that story on page number 4. Down there, there is a promo there that says Diaspora Commission warns Nigerians against visit to Northern Cyprus. So for Nigerians that like to jackpot a lot, please take this information to your head. Okay, that will be all for Leadership this morning. Please head to the nearest newspaper stand right before you and grab your copy now. Also, you could visit www.leadership.ng, which is our website, to find more information about all the headlines you have seen today and even much more. So let's move briskly to the next Nigerian daily, which is the Vanguard. Over here at the Vanguard, the major story says 223 Obasanjo, Obi, Wike, Duke, others meet in London. 223 Obasanjo, Obi, Wike, Duke, others meet in London. Okay, now let's take a few bullets right there before we move. First bullet says, as Atiku finally meets Wike in London, Atiku to A's associates stop deriding Wike others. The next bullet, which is the last one we'll be taking, says Tinubu's meeting with Rivers governor, sign of desperation. And this is coming from XVP's camp. Okay, you can find the full story on page number 5. That is all we'll be having for Vanguard this morning. Let's move over briskly to the next Nigerian daily, which is The Nation we are in. Over here at The Nation, the major story says Osibanjo, Lawan, Amechi, 19 others to unite for Tinubu. Wow. Osibanjo, Lawan, Amechi, 19 others to unite for Tinubu. And the bullet there says ex-APC presidential aspirants to meet in Abuja next week. Let's move over to the next Nigerian daily. Very quickly, the next paper we'll be looking at is the next THISDAY. Okay, so on this day today, the major story says NUPRC, Nigeria must declare emergency on oil theft on underproduction orders. I'll take that again. NUPRC, Nigeria must declare emergency on oil theft underproduction orders. Just below that, the bullet says resolving security challenge will bring back investments to the oil sector. That is all we have for this day. Let's move straight to the next Nigerian daily this morning. And the next one will be the last one for us, which is The Guardian. Over here at The Guardian, the major story says Wike's UK meeting with Obasanjo, Obi, Atiku heightens 2023 puzzle. Weekend's UK meeting with Obasanjo, or B. Atiku heightens 2023 puzzle. Two major bullets there that we will take before we leave. Says PDP confident of amicable reconciliation. Atiku orders Lamido orders to halt verbal warfare over Wike. The very last bullet before we go there says strategic meeting to unite Osibanjo and Mechi, other APC presidential aspirants in the works. Thank you for joining us today, but don't go just yet, because right after here, Bode Badebo has an extensive review of all these stories, and you wouldn't want to miss him and his panel discussion. Please stay tuned for this. Also, we'd like to crave your indulgence to join us again tomorrow morning, because this show is daily by 10 a.m. I remain Tion Joseph. See you tomorrow, and do have a great weekend.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.
Inside Nigeria, keeping you informed on what matters. Inside Nigeria, keeping you informed on what matters.
Welcome back. It's still Inside Nigeria for this Friday morning, August 26, 2022. And of course, with me in the studio is David Taka, who is debuting on Inside Nigeria this morning. And viewers, don't forget, my name is Bode Badebo. Welcome, Taka.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome to Inside Nigeria.
Thank you, sir.
Of course, Taka will take over from next Monday. You'll be seeing Taka's face from Monday through Friday on the Inside Nigeria show. Taka, well, you've seen what the newspaper have said this morning. We don't have a guest, so we'll do the job ourselves this morning. Now, let's start with Nigeria's most influential newspaper, as earlier displayed by our colleague Tion Joseph, who earlier read out the headlines. But then we need to come back to the headlines and see how we can actually provide fresh perspectives. Now, on the front page of Leadership this morning is about politics. London meetings, Europe now political playground as governors weigh fresh options.
I've read the
the political story, the leading story, the one on London becoming a playground. And one of the contributors raised an issue about foreign influence in our
Electoral process.
Yes. If we take our electoral process to the foreign countries, what if they now meddle in our political system? What are we going to say?
Well,
It's a very serious issue.
whether
We like it or not,
whether
directly or indirectly. We're already showing them that they can actually meddle in our
No, they are meddling, they are involved. They
So,
give INEC money,
should
support.
should they decide who becomes the president of Nigeria, or Nigeria should decide who becomes the
Well,
president?
ultimately, Nigeria might be the deciders, but in one way or the other, they have their own input. You know, apart from these politicians taking meetings to foreign lands, the European nation also contributes to our electoral process in one way or the other.
Accepted, but you know what happened with the last American election? They raised a lot of issues about Russia meddling in the political.
Yeah, the election before this one.
Yes,
Trump election.
okay, and the Trump election. I know that till date, FBI is still investigating. That issue has not been trashed. So if we allow foreign influence, I wonder what will happen. Maybe one day we'll wake up and somebody we don't even expect.
Well, they are not just influencing. Our people are the one telling them to get involved. People have been saying, why take this kind of meetings to London, why you can do it in Abuja, Lagos, Port Harcourt, and the rest.
People are being careful of, what if already the information is no longer safe. Whatever we're discussing, what are those plans? We're exposed already. So I think it's something that our political leaders need to look into. We may not have the capacity to do it on our own. We need the support accepted, but there should be a limit to what we can open up to them.
All right, viewers, we continue, but we need to take a short break. When we come back, we will actually dissect the papers we have on our menu this morning. Don't go away.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.
Inside Nigeria, keeping you informed on what matters.
Welcome back. It's still Inside Nigeria for this Friday morning, August 26, 2022. Now, let's go to the newspaper, the next newspaper on our menu this morning. That is the THISDAY newspaper, as displayed earlier by Tion Joseph. On the front page of THISDAY, Taka, it's about economy or the petroleum sector. Nigeria must declare emergency on oil theft, underproduction, and others, according to the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission. Resolving security challenge will bring back investments to our oil sector. Now, the Nigerian oil sector, have been bedeviled with all manners of menaces, which you are aware of as being the person covering our security bit. You are aware of the menace of oil theft, then underproduction. We are not producing optimally, and that means less revenue for us. And there are a lot of other things: insecurity, vandalization of the pipeline infrastructure, and the rest of them. And here, a government agency, Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, is saying then we need to do away with all these things in order to actually up our game and bring more investment to the oil sector.
When we talk about oil theft, most times I laugh because, in fact, some of the people complaining, they may, in fact, let me not say they are being economical with the truth, but that's just what it is. Some of them actually know what is going on in the oil sector. In 2 weeks' time, the Navy said about the product they seized from oil bunkers alone was about 3.7 billion. That was the market value that they seized. Now, looking at the kind of crime that goes on in the oil sector, you realize that this thing is capital intensive. It's an organized crime.
Of course.
It's not that they don't know who is behind all these things, but do we have the willpower to go after
to confront the people?
We don't. That's where the problem is.
You are also close to the military hierarchy. There are also allegations in some quarters that the military, especially the naval people, are also involved in oil theft.
Well, I may not be privy to that information, but I've interacted with a lot of them. And looking at what the Navy has about 40 houseboats. Those houseboats are positioned at strategic positions. There's no way a vessel will leave this country without passing through those water channels. So if any vessel is able to move oil from Nigeria,
stolen oil,
that means
the Navy will know.
They know.
So if
That's
if that unauthorized vessel is able to take away our oil, stolen oil, then the Navy should be held responsible.
If actually the vessel was able to load, they should. But this one, they said the vessel had no time to load.
No, that was just an incident. That was just one incident.
That's one.
So what about the ones that were stolen?
So if any vessel is able to move, you should know that people know about it.
So
and then they allowed it to
the Navy
happen.
might be playing to the gallery, telling us.
Otherwise, it will not happen. When I've been to the creeks with them, and I've been to most of the places, and when I interacted with one of the commanders, then he now told me, he said traditional rulers, people in government have hands in all these things. This one, he told me off record.
And they are unable to confront.
We were on a boat, so we were talking. So I just threw the question to him.
Traditional rulers, highly placed government officials are all complicit. But the Navy, which has the mandate to secure Nigeria's territorial waters and also our resources
though
in the water, oil inclusive.
He wasn't really talking about what goes out. He was talking about illegal oil bunkering.
That's what I'm saying, that the Navy is unable to do that, to confront these people.
Now, looking at the landmass, well, because they are being paid by the government's public funds, people have the right to question them. They've been destroying all these things, but the destruction alone will not end it. How do they have the power to prosecute? No. How do they go about this? You just go there, destroy those things. Why can't you investigate and find out who is behind the illegal bunkering that you've gone to destroy? So that's my challenge with them. And when I raise, they'll tell me they don't have the legal rights to prosecute.
So all they over the matter to the appropriate government authority.
And anytime they arrest, they hand over. And most times they release the police, and they are released.
Or the
EFCC. They've convicted some people in doing.
But the oil theft has not stopped. It's on the increase.
Of course.
So security agencies are also complicit in this.
He's paying people. It's not just. I think it's an organized crime that is not just the security. Even some of the government agencies responsible for those things may know
what that means. Our economy will be bleeding.
Of course.
We will keep looking for money to finance infrastructure.
It's something. If
we not get the money from our resources, we have to resort to borrowing.
Those oil wells, when you see the pipelines and the oil wells, I don't think we have the manpower without technology to actually protect all the oil heads. Because some of the oil heads are vulnerable. So those guys can actually open.
So you need
someone raised an issue about those guys that were granted amnesty, went abroad and learned all these fabrication. That a lot of them even can go to the seabed where the pipes are.
The seabed.
And connect whatever they want and take out crude.
Without anybody saying it.
That's what they have learned.
So where is the monitoring?
And when they came back with the skills, they are not harnessed. So they've acquired new skills, and that's the new trend.
And they are not employed into the system. They are on their own.
There are lots of issues surrounding the amnesty program.
Mm-hmm.
So some of them, since they came back and discovered they've been schemed out, so they've gone back, and now they are sophisticated.
Too bad. So government is complicit. Government is not doing the right thing. No. Government is not doing the right thing. Government is not talking to the right people.
Of course.
And government has been, looking the other way. Why these atrocities have been
Well,
perpetrated.
yeah, because lots of people are earning. Most guys you interact, they'll tell you there's money
Of course,
in the illegal oil
in
bunkering.
stealing the
So why
national.
we Nigeria issued this thing, modular refineries license to people. What are
But
those
where,
guys?
they
What
are
are they
nowhere to
doing
be
now?
found. Nowhere to be found.
Who did they even issue to the right people? That's another question.
And all these are
Did
talk.
we issue to the right person, or we just issue to our cronies?
And all these are talk is even without talking about the environmental impact, the pollution,
I've
environmental
had
degradation.
cause to raise issues with the Navy. When I went, they said they brought a swamp boogie and then they destroyed I was like, what happened to the environment? They said no, that the destruction I'm seeing was not caused by them. That it was in the course of cooking the oil that all this fire and the rest. I said,
About the one
when you
destroy,
you did not evacuate this oil.
you further pollute the environment. You further
That's
pollute,
an issue.
you know,
anytime I
people's
have a cost to it, I
means
will
of
ask them,
livelihood.
can't we look for an environmental friendly method to destroy
To do what you're doing.
this?
Well, the bottom line of the story, according to THISDAY this morning, is that the government, if at all it is serious, it must declare state of emergency on oil theft. Under production and other menaces.
The government will have to start within.
Exactly.
Because there are people in government.
Purge itself of bad heads.
Of course.
All right, thank you. Well, we need to move to the third newspaper on our menu this morning, and that is the Nation newspaper. What do we have on the front page of the Nation? Well, on the front page of the Nation this morning is politics, like the one reported by Leadership earlier, but this is different political story. Osinbajo, Lawan, Amechi, 19 others to unite for Tinubu. Ex-APC presidential aspirant to meet in Abuja next week. These 22 persons actually former APC presidential aspirants.
Yeah.
So now the party is saying the need to bring them together.
Of course.
And forge one front.
If the party wants to win election, it's the right thing to do.
Yeah, and I think things have been done with Vice President Yemi Osinbajo in isolation as per APC political activities. And regarding to Tinubu's presidential campaign,
he
campaigns,
was Nigerians' favorite in the build-up of the primaries. He was Nigerians. I interacted a lot. So most of my friends from PDP, yes, so many of my friends from PDP will tell me if Osinbajo emerges APC flag bearer, they will ditch the PDP and support him.
Why? Because Osinbajo is young, energetic.
They feel he has the energy and
Buhari's government. He understands the issue. Though he does not have the executive power because he's a vice president, so he can only do less things. But why he come over to become the man with the the sword?
Like somebody told me when he acted, in the period he acted, that he made pronouncements that had an impact on the economy. That they believe if he emerges the president, things will be better. But as it is now, we have Tinubu. Well, with his age and everything, I don't think. Well, let me not just.
Well, I think another issue is that some persons have honestly believe that it's only the PDP that is faced with some internal crisis.
Even
now
APC,
it is clear that the APC also has some things to actually do away with, some fences to mend within the party.
The reason is very simple. Nigerian political landscape, everybody's being selfish. It's not just for the nation. Ask any politician your interest. What do you have? They will tell it's personal interest first before the political party. The personal interest first, political party, then Nigeria is the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not about any Nigerian interest. No, it is about personal interest.
All right, and that's not too good, of course.
That's why we are not getting personal
interest.
That's why we're not getting it right.
Exactly. Talking about personal interest, that will take us to the last but not the least newspaper on our menu this morning, the Guardian newspaper. Talking about personal interest. No, the whole this thing about Wike. I don't really understand. Is it about Wike personally, or about the South, or about Southern Nigeria, as the case may be? Because Wike now seems to turn himself an advocate for the Southern presidency after he failed to secure the PDP presidential ticket. Let's quickly look at the headline as reported by the Guardian this morning. Wike's UK meeting with Obasanjo, Obi, Atiku heightens 2023 puzzle. You have a puzzle. You know, we don't even know where people,
Of course,
which of the
this,
candidate people we vote for.
nobody's able to predict the outcome of next election.
One of Tinubu's allies yesterday, what's his name? Is it Ibrahim Masari? Yes, Ibrahim Masari, the man that was a placeholder in the APC before. Said Wike will work for Tinubu and he will remain in the PDP. Now, yesterday again, we saw in London, Wike met with Obasanjo Obi and also met with Atiku. So we don't really know where Wike will belong.
The funny part is that people were in PDP when Buhari was contesting against Jonathan and worked against Jonathan.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not saying it's going to happen this time.
Yeah.
Are Nigerians generally comfortable with Tinubu as their president? Who do we prefer? When you sample opinions, you know what Nigerians want. But if the votes will count, but we can deciding whoever becomes the president, I don't think he has that capacity. I don't think he has that clout to decide who becomes the president. He's relevant, accepted. Every vote is relevant.
Not beyond Rivers State, probably. But people are saying, oh, now that everybody is meeting in London, is the Nigeria's political bride?
Because you're talking about South already. South, it is even divided already. Wike versus Okowa. The vote is already divided. So where will he swindle? He can't even swindle the whole vote to a particular person.
My brother, let me tell you the truth. It will be in Wike's interest to remain in the PDP and work for the PDP.
It will be the best for him.
He has a candidate he wants to enthrone as a successor, as the next governor of Rivers.
Whatever he's going to do has a ripple effect on him.
As a person.
Of course.
Exactly. Well, viewers, that's the size of the program this morning, Friday, August 26, 2022. Of course, make a day's result on Monday for a fresh edition of the show. Taka, it's time to go.
Oh, thank you very much. In fact, I'm beginning to fall in love with the program.
All right, so by Monday when you take over, you will actually, fall in love better. My name is Membody Badibo. It's bye from here.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.